Next part of the session is culture. Here, the students will be reading the Shashiniki or photo diary of Junkun. The activities included here are some of the usual activities of Nihonjins during Christmas and New Year. We have a sample conversation that you may use to help the students to get the meaning of each Shashiniki. Maybe there will be some words that will appear confusing to the students like Sojo Suru, Osechiriori, and Jinja. Please guide them in knowing the meaning using entry style. After knowing the meaning of Ishashiniki, so the students will be comparing the common activities of Nihonjin like Junkun with the activities of Philippine during Christmas holidays in the Philippines. So we have another sample conversation that you may use in comparing the common activities of Nihonjin and the activities of Philippine during Christmas holidays. So please take note that the teacher briefly explains that for customary actions or routine actions, the present form of the verb is used. So you're going to do the same process for the other Nihongo expressions. So we have here the Hiragana version. But if the students um, want to use Romaji version, that's okay. Part 3 is the reflection. So we have another sample guide questions that you may use in guiding the students to write their reflection. And please do not forget that the students will be making their own photo diary, documenting what they did during the Christmas and New Year holidays. The students can use pictures or drawings, minimum of 3, maximum of 5 drawings or pictures. The pictures or drawings must be pasted in one short bond paper size. The teacher reminds the students to use the appropriate past form of the verbs. You may also do your own Shashiniki, so the students will have an idea on how to do the Shashiniki. Okay, and let's proceed to Session 4 of Topic 21. In Session 4 of Topic 21, the students will be promoting effective communication skills by sharing in a group about the activities they did during the holidays. They will also develop social and cross-cultural skills and learning skills by identifying the parts of the Nenganjo and realizing its importance in the Japanese culture. The language kanju for this session, the students can identify some parts of a Nenganjo. And here are the expressions that the students will be learning for this session. Akemashite omedetou gozaimasu. Kotoshi mo yoroshiku. In this session, we have 3 parts. That includes culture, Nihongo, and reflection. For culture part, students will discuss the culture of writing and exchanging Nenganjo. Then for the second part, students will learn about the greetings used during New Year. And last but not least, students will reflect and write about what they have learned in this session. The materials to be used in this session are the following: advertisements and flyers of sample Nenganjo, poster-sized Nenganjo for class discussion. Please make a bigger poster of the Nenganjo so everyone can see the different parts of the Nenganjo. First part of session 4 is Nihongo. So you will be introducing the objective of the session. You're going to say that the students will know how each of them celebrated the previous Christmas and New Year so that they can master the past tense of the verb. They will also learn about the Nenganjo, a type of card in Japan. So after introducing the objective of the session, they'll be sharing their sashiniki. So you're going to call one or two students to share their sashiniki. Then after that, um, you're going to divide the class into a group of maybe depending on the number of students. Then please see to it that you check the students' work or if they correctly use the past tense of the verb. So in their group, they will be sharing their sashiniki and instruct them that they need to find the similarities and differences of their activities during Christmas and New Year. After sharing their sashiniki with their classmates, you're going to do spot survey and Q&A. So this is to introduce the Nenganjo to the students. So here are the sample questions that you may use in introducing the Nenganjo to the students. So what is the significance of writing Christmas cards to your family and friends? How do you feel when you receive a Christmas card from someone? And do you want to receive a Christmas card from someone and why? If time allows, the teacher will have a class discussion on the effects of sending greetings through electronic cards or emails. After the spot survey and Q&A, you are now going to introduce the Neganjo to the students by showing them the flyers and sample advertisements. Then, if time allows, you will be sharing Nenganjo trivia. There are trivia in our entry book, but I think you need to update the data in our entry book. After showing them some samples of Nenganjo advertisements and flyers, you will be discussing the different parts of a Nenganjo, starting with the design, message, address of sender and receiver, front side and back side of the Nenganjo, and lottery number. So there are information in our entry book. So please read the information that you can share with the students. After the discussion of the parts of a Nenganjo, summarize the features of Nenganjo so the students will be able to master the parts of a Nenganjo. Then ask the students to compare the Nenganjo and Christmas cards in the Philippines. Then do not forget to share some information about Nenganjo. So these information are written in our lesson plan. Next part is reflection. So there are some guide questions that you may use in helping the students to organize their thoughts. And please take note that the students will be making their assignments. So students will think of a particular design of their Nenganjo or Christmas card, which will be used for activities in session 5 and session 6. Then bring materials needed to make a Nenganjo in the next session. Okay, let's proceed to session 5 of topic 21. In this session, the students will be promoting innovative and creative skills by making their own holiday cards. In this session, we do have lots of can do, starting with can ask a friend to show him or her something such as cards, can say the first impression or give positive comments to things, can read Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and can write Akimashite omedetou gozaimasu or Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. These are the terms to be learned in this session. Steki, kirei, kakkoi, design ga ii, iro ga ii. They will be also learning some expressions like misete, iyo, Merry Christmas. This session has 4 parts. First one, culture. So students will make a card of their own with appropriate holiday greetings. Second part is Nihongo Part 1. Students will learn how to ask someone to show something to them. The third part is Nihongo Part 2. Students will give their impressions on their classmates' cards. Last but not the least is reflection. For this session, you're going to use flashcards of Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Next, Christmas card to be prepared by the student assigned as homework from their previous session. In the first part of the session, which is culture, first introduce the objective of the session. So students will learn simple messages that they can write in their cards. Also, they will learn how to ask somebody to show something and give their impressions. After that, ask the students to read what is written in the flashcards, like Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. So the students will be making an international Christmas card. That's why they need to practice writing Merry Christmas, Happy New Year in katakana. Please take note that the teacher explains briefly that although in Philippines it is okay to use the set phrases Merry Christmas and Happy New Year at the same time, even it is not New Year yet, in Japan it is strange to greet Akimashite omedetou gozaimasu before January 1 or to receive Nenganjo before January 1. That is why students are recommended to write Happy New Year instead of Akimashite omedetou gozaimasu. And if there will not enough time for making Christmas cards, the teacher is recommended to let the students create a Nenganjo instead of Christmas card. In this case, it is better to write Akimashite omedetou gozaimasu in hiragana. Before making the Nenganjo, please mention the following instructions to the students. Since the receiver of the card will not be decided until session 6, you should write and design the card based on what kind of card you want to receive. This means that you must put an effort in writing the card and should at least show your originality. The points to be realized in this session. So the student must be able to realize that the culture of sending greetings such as cards, postcards, and electronic mails in any occasion may vary, but the thoughts are likely the same, which is to maintain connection even once a year. If there is not enough time to finish their Nenganjo or Christmas cards, ask the students to finish their cards at home, and they should bring their cards on session 6. Part 2 and part 3 of session 5 is culture. So they will be learning some Nihongo expressions. To start, you're going to approach students and ask them to show to you their cards. And here, you're going to introduce the Nihongo expression misete. Okay, even though they are not yet finished, you can actually introduce these Nihongo expressions. So after saying misete, you can give your impressions to their cards like kawaii. Then ask them what do they think the meaning of kawaii. So next, So we have steki, kire, kakoi, design gai, hiro gai. So there is a sample flow to introduce these Nihongo expressions to the students. We can follow the suggested flow, or you can have your own flow or sample conversation, but see to it that you're still helping the students learn these expressions in a discovery manner or in entry style. Please take note that you should not approach many students at this moment because the information of the cards the students made should be kept secretly so that the students can use these impressions learned with their first impression upon seeing the cards. Before writing the reflection, please make sure that the students mastered the Nihongo expressions. You can do this by practicing these expressions with the students until they can say them smoothly. You can also instruct the students to ask 2 to 3 of their classmates to show their cards and give their impressions using the learned Nihongo expressions. In the reflection part, we have another set of questions to help the students organize their thoughts so that they can write a sound reflection. Last session, session 6 of topic 21. In this session, the students will be promoting learning and innovation skills by articulating thoughts and impressions to communicate and collaborate with classmates. They will also develop life and career skills, especially interpersonal skills and initiative and self-direction skills by being able to recall and review one's learning and be able to monitor one's progress. Language can do in this session. So students can sing the Japanese version of Jingle Bells and they can recall Japanese expressions learned in this topic. Here is the session outline of session 6. We have Culture Part 1, Culture Part 2, then Nihongo and Reflection. In Culture Part 1, students will be learning the Japanese version of Jingle Bells. In Culture Part 2, students will be exchanging their cards while singing Jingle Bells. Then for Nihongo part, they're going to do the Nihongo review quiz. Materials to be used in this session are the following. Christmas card prepared by the students in the previous session. Audio file of the Japanese version of Jingle Bells to be prepared by the teacher. Copy of the lyrics of the Japanese version of Jingle Bells in Romaji to be prepared by the teacher. And Nihongo review quiz. Part 1 and 2 of this session is culture. First activity is listening to a Japanese version of Jingle Bells. It is one of the well-known Christmas songs. That is why students are really familiar. The difference is that it is in Japanese version. After listening, you will ask the students to know the Japanese version of Jingle Bells. And after learning the Japanese version of Jingle Bells, the students will be exchanging their Nenganjo or Christmas cards. They will be passing around their Christmas cards with each other while singing the Japanese version of Jingle Bells. Please take note that if it will be difficult to sing the entire song, the teacher will ask students to sing the chorus line only in passing around the cards. Once the song ends, the Christmas card that they are holding will be their received cards. After receiving their cards, instruct the students to approach the person who made the card and use the Nihongo expression like arigato and oreshi to thank that person. To practice the Nihongo expressions they learned in the previous session, they can approach their classmates and ask them to show the cards that they received. Then they are going to say their impressions. Part 3 of this session is Nihongo part. So Here, the students will be reviewing the learned Nihongo expressions in this topic. You're going to focus your review in the common expressions in saying different activities in celebrating Christmas and New Year, past tense of the verbs, adjectives in describing a thing, some terms in celebrating New Year in Japan. Then, after the review, you're now going to administer the Nihongo review quiz. This is also part of their Nihongo review. This is what we call vocabulary map. To accomplish this, students will be writing some words for vocabulary building. Students should be given 5 minutes to write vocabulary related to topic 21. If time allows, ask 2 to 3 students to share what is written in their vocabulary map. If there is no time, ask the students to share their vocabulary map with their seatmates. After sharing, ask the students to paste their vocabulary map in their entry book. After all those activities, do not forget to have the reflection part. So here are the sample guide questions to help the students organize their reflection. After accomplishing all of the activities in session 6, do not forget to ask the students to include a short reflection on their Nihongo notes on whether or not they were able to make an effort and achieve their goals in their chosen field from the Gambarole list. At this point, students will not yet write their reflection in the fruit of their J3 because the same field will still be worked out in the next topic. If time allows, the teacher may ask 1 to 2 students to share what they wrote on their J3 with the rest of the class. To make this session more exciting and fun, you can have a real Christmas party. You can do this even though the Christmas season is not yet around the corner. In this way, the students will really feel the spirit of Christmas. Your class can have Christmas food and activities that I think they will love. This will be a really meaningful learning experience for your students. If you are planning to conduct a Christmas party in this session, please plan ahead of time. You can also ask the help of your students' parents in planning and conducting the class Christmas party. Kore de happy yo owarimasu. Advance Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Arigatou gozaimashita. Mata ne.